Oh, this is just savage, dude. Holy hell, this chapter is so graphic. Like, this chapter is not made for kids, okay? Graphic warning, I guess if you're under the age of like maybe 13, probably not for you. It's brutal, it's bloody, it's gory, and it's great. And there is a major death in this chapter. An S rank hero, another one, presumably because we've seen a couple others in the previous chapters get slaughtered, dies in this one as well. And it's one that I did not expect because I don't think he's coming back. So we see in the beginning of this chapter, Homeless Emperor is trying to take down Tatsumaki, who is flying around in the air. And he's just shooting like a million of his energy balls, energy blasts everywhere. They're chasing after Tatsumaki, and Homeless Emperor like kind of moves his energy balls. His whole spiel is that this is like a symphony of destruction. Really cool panels and artwork and angles here. Kind of reminds me of Deidara a little bit from Naruto. How he says like art is a blast. It's kind of like the same vibes here as Homeless Emperor is just everything up right now. And as he does the grand finale, which is just like such a beautiful panel. I mean, this guy seems like his power is absolutely insane. We haven't even seen Black S fight yet. When we see Ugly Furher, he like, oh my god, he goes on a rampage in this chapter. But all of these monster cadre are so unbelievably strong. Murata's really showing us the highlights of their power and showing us like how desperate and weak the S rank heroes are compared to them. So he does the grand finale, this insane explosion on Tatsumaki. It turns out she was using one of those like rock clones, just like she used before against Psychos. And here Black S is looking at Homeless Emperor, who is entirely cocky. Black S is just watching all of this go down, and he says, this guy's body is just that of a normal human, ain't it? If that's the case, I bet eventually I can find an opening and get him from behind. So it's showing that like the monsters are not like all buddy-buddy. That Black S is considering double-crossing Homeless Emperor because he may be a potential threat, or maybe he just finds him annoying, or whatever the case. But I found that line particularly interesting because I don't think that they turn against each other. They're too preoccupied fighting the S rank heroes, but it looks like Black S, given the chance and the opportunity, would take out Homeless Emperor. Now that would be a pretty interesting fight to see go down because they're both just so insanely OP. So we finally see a close-up of Tatsumaki. Here she's like leaning against this rock. Absolutely just gorgeous and sexy panel. Just love the artwork, the composition of it entirely. Murata, the way he draws the females is just like next level, dude. And she's battered, beaten up, bruised from her fight with Psycho Orochi, but she's still hanging in there. Her clothes are torn up a little bit, she's bloodied and everything, but Fubuki finally catches sight of her sister. And as she sees the damage to Tatsumaki's body, she like can't believe it, because Tatsumaki's hands got pierced and her face is all bloody, her clothes are ripped and everything. When Tatsumaki sees that Fubuki is also damaged, she like freaks out, right? So we know that Tatsumaki is completely overprotective of her little sister, and they go on this little tirade here. Oh, I'll destroy whoever hurt you and everything like that. I'm gonna berate Second Garden Child Emperor for getting you involved. And Fubuki goes on this whole spiel about how she's learned what it takes to be strong. She came here with her own free will and everything, and she wants to participate, but Tatsumaki's like no, and just like blasts her away, right? So Fubuki tries to hold Tatsumaki down with these like galactic donuts. Obviously we know that's not going to work because she knows that Tatsumaki is like on borderline death. Like she's used crazy amount of Esper powers in the previous battles. She's bloody, she's bleeding and everything. Her hands are all jacked up, and she knows that like she's on the end of her ropes. Like Tatsumaki really needs to take a break and recover right now, but she wants to keep fighting, and Fubuki is saying, if you keep fighting, you're gonna die. And after this long epic speech, Tatsumaki's just like, pew! Yeah, those donuts, those galactic donuts, they're gonna go on you. And she acknowledges that Fubuki has gotten stronger, and she's going to continue to progress in this arc. But she says something pretty critical here, that I can't go on thinking that anyone will come and save me. And so this all leans back to when she was imprisoned and Blast saved her and said, when the time comes, don't think anybody's gonna come save you. And Fubuki sees this and it's basically like, Blast, what have you done? Like you gave her hope and ambition, but you also cursed her because now she doesn't know when to quit. And things are gonna continue to get worse for Tatsumaki in this chapter and later on as well. But it kind of tells us a little bit about Tatsumaki's character and why she acts the way that she does. how she's so arrogant and everything. Like, basically because she's lived her life by this whole motto that, like, I gotta fend for myself and, like, screw everyone else except for my little sister. So that's why she never relies on any other heroes. She doesn't even want them to get in the way. She just wants to be the boss, right? But Fubuki's saying, hopefully I can save you from that. We'll see if she does after this arc. We also see Genos here. He comes back. As you remember in the last chapter, Fubuki brought back Genos from basically like turning into a nuclear bomb. She used her psychic powers and pushed herself really hard, and she was able to like cool him down somehow using her psychic powers. So Genos is alive again. Fubuki, that exhausted her. That's why she's kind of on the ground and kind of looks worn out at this point. And even Silverfang saying to Genos, like, look, you know that's risky. Like, you just came back from like almost dying. If you exert yourself again, you're gonna explode. And he's saying, as long as I don't exert my full power, that won't happen. But like, obviously you're gonna have to use your full power. Like, these dudes are mad strong. I think Genos is gonna be in for a little bit of terror coming up as well in the next chapter or two. And also Silverfang's gonna go and help as well, telling his older brother, like, look, watch over Fubuki. For now, let me know if Garo shows up, right? Because that's like why they're really there. We also see here that the Council of the Sword Masters arrives, and I'm not really sure like what the whole point of this is exactly, because the last time I believe we saw them was when Atomic Samurai went to go visit them, and one of them ate the Orochi cells, and then like Atomic Samurai just owned him, like sliced him up. So I'm not 100% sure like why they're showing up or what the whole point of this even is, but they're kind of spectating at this point. If they get involved, if they're not as strong as Atomic Samurai, they can't do anything, because Atomic Samurai is getting wrecked by Black S, and if he's stronger than all these guys, like, what can they do? So I'm not sure if they're just coming in to be fodder. Okay, now we get into the real good and juicy part. We get to see Gums and Ugly Fur taking on a bunch of S-rank heroes, primarily Pig God and Tank Top Master. And we see here that Gums is like trying to eat Tank Top Master. Gums is basically like the super powered version of Pig God. He eats everything, but he's like just all mouth and muscle, basically. He's just a giant muscly mouth. And somehow Tank Top Master is like just trying to prevent himself from getting squashed under its teeth and gets rescued by Pig God. Okay, and it starts to get like super gory, like Attack on Titan at this point. So if you're squeamish, maybe this isn't the chapter for you. I don't know. It's not an innocent chapter by any means. Here, Ugly Fur just goes on a rampage. He takes one of the, I believe this is like one of the strike teams that came in the armored battle suits. They were hired to rescue the rich guy's son who was deep in the Monster Association. Ugly Fur is like, don't worry, I'll return this guy to you one piece at a time, and then just rips off his arm, right? And like, look at the size and the scale of Ugly Fur. Like, his head is bigger than this entire guy's body. So like, he basically is just like this giant Titan juggernaut. Meanwhile, Gums bites into Tank Top Master again, but he doesn't bite his head off there. And I'm not really sure what's happening here. Like, you see Gums like expanding with like muscle. I guess he's just like clenching down, and that's kind of like what happens to his body when he like is using his maximum biting potential. And you see that Tank Top Master is starting to bleed and everything. He's starting to get crushed by the jaws of Gums, and it's just brutal, like, even like think about, right? Meanwhile, Ugly Fur is coming down to punch this poor innocent guy into a bloody mess, but Tatsumaki saves him at the last second by using her psychic powers to freeze Ugly Fur. Now, Ugly Fur is not gonna like that too much. And remember, this guy is he's another just big ball of meat. It's pretty impressive from Tatsumaki for considering like what else she has pulled off in this arc, with the insane Esper battle with Psycho Orochi, and then creating that huge spear of destruction out of the Monster Association to kill Orochi. She's still going here, but she's breathing heavy. Meanwhile, Pig God comes in with a tackle, saves Tank Top Master, so fortunately he did not get eaten alive there and crushed. And now they're gonna try and go on the escape. So Pig God like eats all of the the humans that he wants to rescue, and Tank Top Master just like chucks him. So they were able to rescue those humans, but Ugly Fur here, his muscles and his neck and everything are just like expanding like crazy, and he's able to break out of Tatsumaki's psychic control, which is crazy. Like, I don't think we've ever seen anyone do that in the entirety of One Punch Man. Like, anybody Tatsumaki goes up against, she always is able to have the one up on them. And I know she's weakened at this point, but like, damn, dude, like, that's another testament to just how strong these guys actually are. So he breaks out and he just pops Tatsumaki, sending her into a rock, and she bashes the back of her head. And this is important. I'll get into spoilers at the end of this in case you want to know. Meanwhile, Tank Top Master goes in with his tank top tackle, and Ugly Furyu's forearm caving punch. They connect, and then here's the goriest, well, the second goriest picture we have in this chapter. Tank Top Master's arms are just bent into like a silly string. Okay, dude, this is just nasty and brutal, and like imagine like getting hit by a truck with your arms like this, and it's just Murata, bro. Oh my god. And you also see Tatsumaki's head there, the blood coming down. She got hit back on the back of the head. So I mean, just that damage alone from Tank Top Master's arms, you think like maybe he just can't even be an S-rank hero anymore, right? Well, just wait for the next picture. Ugly for her, crazy picture here from Murata as he comes in with that fist saying something menacing and terrifying. Not a single one of you is gonna get away. And he comes in for a punch and just crushes Tank Top Master into the ground. His arms are like spaghetti, just blood coming out everywhere. And he's saying, bruh, the tank top is invincible. I don't really know what the point of that is. His final words, I guess. Full body caving punch, full body caving and full body caving. So he's just coming down with this wallop on poor Tank Top Master's broken body. And I think it's the next picture. Here it comes. Oh man, this dude just got turned into a mashed up tomato. That is some of the craziest, bloodiest, goriest, graphicest crap we have seen from One Punch Man. And Tank Top Master's got to be dead. I mean, look at his legs, bro. Like, it looks like horse legs. Like, there's no way in hell this guy can come back from that. I mean, he's literally a pancake. He's got to be dead at this point. And then, if that isn't everything, Gums eats him, right? So Gums just straight up eats him. So Tank Top Master's dead. Now, Tank Top Master was like honestly probably the weakest of the S-rank heroes. I know he's higher than Puri Puri Prisoner, and they're kind of like pretty similar characters in their own right. They're just like brutes, right? But at least Puri Puri Prisoner like evolves himself and like he gets new powers and everything. Like Tank Top Master's just like straight strong and like throws things, right? I'm pretty sure he's dead, and I don't think that happened in the webcomics, so that's pretty crazy. And for the final page here, we have Tatsumaki laid out. Her eyes are on the back of her head. She basically has concussion. So what happens to a psychic when you get hit on the back of the head is like you basically like lose your psychic powers for a while, or they become like super, super weak. So basically what this is trying to say is Tatsumaki's like basically out. Like she's gonna try and fight more. So spoilers for the upcoming chapter. Psychos is gonna come back, and then Blizzard gonna end up taking on Psychos and evolving her own techniques and do some really cool things. So this is something that we've been waiting for a long time. We've been waiting to see the monster cadre come out and fight the S-rank heroes. I knew it was gonna be brutal. I didn't know it was gonna be this brutal, and it's only gonna get worse. So Murata, once again, great chapter, lots of pages this time, not like last chapter, and this is just savage, dude. I mean, poor Tank Top Master, he just got completely crushed. Looked like someone squeezed him into a garbage disposal and just turned that joint on and just, oh. So I guess he got crushed up and then eaten, and that's a bad way to go. All right, guys, that's it for this chapter. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.